I think one of the things that was really surprising to me, Lonnie, was when Donald Trump appointed him. Well, it's not an appointment. He asked him to fill the role of DOGE, this government efficiency office. But we knew that Elon Musk was going to do something like that all along. Donald Trump had talked about that ever since Elon endorsed him, but then also coupling it with Vivek Ramaswamy. That was interesting because many people actually thought that Vivek would get a cabinet position, and he didn't get that. And so he's almost in the shadows, I would say, of Elon in that role of them both running DOGE. So it's not too shocking that he would step down from that. But as I said, we know that he has aspirations to be in political office. So I think he was trying to figure out what would be a best fit for him. And now we do know that he is running for the governor of Ohio.
All right. Politics editor for the Daily Signal, Bradley Devlin, joins us now. Bradley, your thoughts on this breaking news that we're just learning about here on Dr. Phil's Merit TV.
Yeah, Vivek Ramaswamy is not going to run for Ohio governor without the blessing of President Donald Trump. I think this was planned out well ahead of time, especially when I don't think the president could potentially get Governor DeWine to cooperate with his demands that potentially Vivek Ramaswamy take that seat. As for DOGE itself, these is going to be challenged in court, most likely, DOGE itself. But DOGE is more of a branding mechanism. It's not an official federal advisory committee. The president can take the advice of outside advisors if he so chooses, and that's what Elon and Vivek were going to be doing with DOGE, even though it's been given a official yet funny name. So I think Vivek Ramaswamy knows that Ohio is a major center of power right now in today's Republican Party, along with Florida, and he's going to hope to step into into DeWine's seat and change the Ohio Republican Party to be more MAGA aligned, to be more aggressively conservative, akin to what we've seen in Florida with Governor Ron DeSantis.